Rachel has not changed. Do me a favor, hit that sub button before we can jump into this chapter. It's been a crazy week. Happy holidays, and let's jump into it. So, we start off the chapter with Dumas objecting to the order of participating in the chess piece killing game, telling Bellier that Gustang already gave me orders. I'm gonna hunt down Baams. I'm sorry, but I'm not listening to you. But it turns out that Bellier actually created a special role for Dumas, giving him the role of the tracker for chess pieces, giving him the ability to kill or steal chess pieces if he needs to, but only via combat, which I'm not sure what that means yet, but we'll probably discover. And Bellier goes on to explain the rest of the chess piece game on how it's going to work with, in order for you to either steal a piece or kill a piece, you have to either kill the actual person who holds an actual chess piece or steal their piece. And with that, the game begins with everybody being transferred to a separate area. But of course, we get Baams' POV. He's been transported inside the actual sprout, which I didn't think would be a playing area. But we get his piece, and it turns out you guys were right. It's the queen piece, but he seems to think that the king piece is the most important, which I agreed, and why I thought that he would get it as well. But his plan seems to be to find the king and I guess negotiate a plan or try to work it out. But he knows that his friends are in danger, given that their strength level does not compare to the people that they're fighting against. But with that being said, we POV switch to finally getting Rachel, who we haven't seen for quite some time. So she's traveling with Hua Yon, who is leading her to this door. Now this door seems to have a qualification of you needing Shinwa Ryu, and Rachel, of course not learning Shinwa Ryu, uses the bracelet of Zahar to open the door, which has me shocked that Gustang did mention that he would give it to the irregulars, meaning her or Baams, but I didn't think she would have it this early on, especially since we just seen him with it. They enter the chamber and she says that that's Lobo Pietramio's forgotten animal. And ladies and gentlemen, it's Enkidou. We finally get Enkidou. So Enkidou seems to be this humanoid type animal, and it's a weird thing, like it's encased in like this gelatin. But Enkidou awakens seeing some people in its chamber and starts screaming its head off, and appears to be flushing like some extreme Shinsu density their way. Now Rachel goes into an immediate panic, asking Hua, how do you stop this? I need your help. And Hua's like, well, this is Lobo Pietramio's forgotten animal, who was given to him by Maxef, which is very interesting, while also adding that this is definitely the animal that hates Trom the most. But Rachel goes on to say, I already knew all this information. I'm saying, how do we stop this screaming? And Hawa's looking at her like, well, like, you're the one who opened the door, you're the one who's supposed to be qualified, so you deal with it. And Rachel, being Rachel, gets annoyed and steps up to the plate like, well, I'm the one running this war. I've been scheming with Bellier and crew. I can do this, no problem. While also mentioning that I'm going to prove myself to the family heads, and if I capture this beast, it'll put me basically at the same level as them. Whew. As she reaches out with the power of the bracelet, it seems that she's able to break some type of force field that was sealing Enkidou, and he's appeared to be calmed down for a little bit, but went right back to it. Eyes went bloodshot red. It begins to transform and even creating more dense Shinsu in the area, with Rachel struggling and having to be rescued by Hayora. Now, Enkidou's form transforms into this giant gelatin humanoid state, and Rachel and Yora keep dodging into the point where they said, okay, we're escaping, we gotta get out of here. But as they turn to see the door has already been locked and sealed, and they're stuck. Hawaii Yon left their ass, and she's walking down the sprout all casual, not worrying about anything, where she finds Gustang, who was there waiting for her, not even surprised to see her, saying, has Enkidou awakened? Hawaii Yon puts it together like, oh, so this was your entire plan. And yes, he's awake with the fake power and fake qualifications that you gave her. While she has been qualified, she can't handle the weight of the responsibility. And of course, that ultimately means that Rachel is still weak as fuck. But yes, they're stuck at the door, and right before they get smoked, they get rescued by Gustang, who appears to have burned the entire top of the sprout to get inside the ceiling area, where he stops Enkidou and says, I gotta ask you a question, and that's the chapter. Woo-wee, I've never been more hyped to read on to the next chapter, man. Like, But, so let's talk about Rachel. I really thought she had some character development where she looks better even with her new design, and she's been scheming with Bellier and hanging out with Gustang and everything else. and she's still the same character, still has doubts, still doesn't have self-confidence, still talking shit, like, but still can't do anything. I mean, her delusion is crazy, thinking that she actually controls this war. While she has a little bit of stake in it, Gustang controls everything, and we see that by the end of the chapter, where he's the one walking up like, oh, what's going on in there? But Rachel has said some very intriguing things this chapter. So she says that she needs to prove herself to the family heads on who she is. Now, that incites that either she really could be what we've already assumed is a reincarnation of Icarus, or some type of child between maybe V and maybe Icarus. We don't know, but I think we're finally going to get the answer to who Rachel is in the next chapter, guys. So that's very exciting. She also goes in to say that Enkidou holds the strength of a great warrior. Guys, this supports my theory in the last stream and in the last video, saying that Enkidou could possibly be a being that comes from the higher floors, or wherever Maxef, even if Maxef created it, there are monsters, there are creatures that exist that are great warrior level. Imagine that. That's insane. But Rachel claiming to try to tame this beast? Come on, Rachel, you're the last person who's going to do that. But that just hypes up Enkidou even more, especially given that Enkidou has a humanoid form and was supposed to be a human type of person. So where does this hate stem from? Does it hate stem from Trom not listening to Enkidou about possibly being fooled by Zahard and being sealed away forever? Especially given that it has human nature, it would build hate and resentment like a human would. So many things, so many questions. I just can't wait for this conversation between Enkidou and Gustang. The way to end the year off a chapter like this, I can't wait. But I do wonder what Gustang's entire plan for Rachel was. Rachel could have been easily killed here. Now, Gustang using Rachel to open the door, I'm not sure what that was. It seems like to me, Gustang could have did all of this himself, but maybe there's a seal against him on the door. Maybe only a different kind of a regular could do it. That's what I'm assuming. Like, the door may have had somebody with qualifications that wasn't a great warrior could open the door. So Rachel has ultimately been used for this, and she, of course, thinking that she has some stake here, she doesn't. The last part is Baams' role in this whole chess piece killing game. So I think he's going to run into Hawaii Yon, who's going to tell him about everything that just went on in this chamber. And Baams either going to have to make a decision to possibly get involved with that, or maybe Dumas comes up on him and he has to fight Dumas. It's definitely setting up for a Dumas versus Baam 1v1, though I hope that Dumas can restore his arms so that Dumas isn't nerfed, because a 1v1 with armless Dumas is kind of whack, I'm not going to lie. We got to see where we can scale Baam here, so hopefully we get a true 1v1, but if that doesn't happen, Baam is likely going to search for the king, who I still think is Gururu. Gururu just serves as the perfect person to ignore, for people to not take seriously, and him being the queen gives him the ability to fight through everyone. But I guess we'll see where that leads to. But I definitely think that him and Hawa will come across each other. But that's about it as far as my predictions for the next chapter. I'm definitely going to say that Gustang's going to have that conversation with Enkidou, where we get to finally see this animal speak and give context to stuff that we've been wanting to know for a very long time. It's the perfect way to end the year with a chapter that's like peak, that has everything that we want to know, going to the 2024 with learning who Rachel is, learning what Trom's trauma is about, learning why all these memories are getting deleted. I mean, guys, it doesn't even look like the chess match is going to happen. I'm being real with y'all. But I think that in between Baam possibly finding the king or running into Dumas, but hopefully I would rather it just be a full chapter about Enkidou, Gustang, and Trom. Oh man, peak chapter, man, 10 out of 10. Guys, so I've already mentioned to you that there are going to be 2 streams this week, okay? Friday, 2 o'clock p.m., I'm doing the regular prediction stream for the next chapter, where we can discuss everything about this chapter and what's going to happen next. And then on Saturday, we're doing the best chapter of 2023. I need you guys there. Do your research. Go over the chapters that have come out this year. We're going to pick the best ones. We're going to vote on the best chapter of 2023. And it's going to be a good time, good stream before the new year, because the next video I'll drop won't be until the new year. So guys, I'll look forward to that. I'll see you then. And until then, cheers. See you in the Discord.